At the beginning of the year, Paris once again became the global hub of haute couture, providing the backdrop for the grand reveal of next summer's couture collections. It's an art form that's out of reach for most budgets, but at its best, it can carry powerful messages about artistic freedom and the importance of making an entrance. At Julien Fournié, it was a case of shoulders back, find the light, and swing those hips. The result? A parade of exquisitely dressed femme fatales sashaying down the runway. A show full of glitz and glamour, and, according to the designer, no less feminist for the fact.
Once again, it's all about women's emancipation, choosing to leave the patriarchy behind, all that male pressure, and instead travelling to far-off places to have adventures that then turn up as inspiration in the way they dress. This collection brings together a series of different cultures, Aztec, South American, African, to ultimately create an ethnic feel that's at the same time very Parisian. All of that to say that this season our women can dance a classic waltz while dressed in tribal jewellery.
And these clothes aren't cut too close to the body.
For the first time at Julien Fournié, we decided to leave a little bit of space between the body and the fabric. Women need to be able to be active. That movement's important.
Haute couture is the product of an intimate relationship between a client and their couturier. To turn the dream into reality, a couturier will call on a small army of expert pleaters, embroiderers and goldsmiths. Young Parisian designer Alexandre Vauthier knows the importance of listening closely to what his clients want.
I'm always listening to the women around me. They guide me enormously in how they choose to dress, to express themselves, and I use all of that to try to do something fresh, while keeping a few nods to those well-established sartorial codes of couture. You may have noticed that there are really a huge number of different styles that we've incorporated into this collection. There are suits, tight-fitting dresses, ultra-sexy dresses, kind of regal dresses. My women come from completely different worlds. They're different ages, they come from different socio-cultural milieus, but they all come together in their search for this one specific thing. Maybe it's the way my clothes are cut, maybe it's the respect I have for these women, or maybe the way I try to find that sweet spot between what should be exposed and what should stay hidden.
As for the hats, a collaboration with Irish-born London-based hat maker extraordinaire Philip Tracy, who Vauthier has known since the 90s.
Such talent, class and elegance. It's knowing how to find that perfect balance between elegant and sexy.
Women know what they're talking about, and it's never one single thing. Women have different traditions, cultures, habits, and they often dress accordingly. You wouldn't dress a singer in the same way you dress a first lady. I think that today you really need to be able to speak to everyone, and that this aesthetic approach needs to be available to everyone.
Now from the catwalk to a former art gallery, the workshop of Franco-Turk fashion house Dice Kayek. The label's founder Ece Ege is meeting a client for a fitting. Her own eccentric couture wardrobe has helped her make a name for herself in a professional world dominated by men.
I was under the impression that I had to bolster my credibility by adopting a rather austere look. So when I arrived for my first management meeting, I wore a suit, so not at all the sort of thing I like. It wasn't at all what I usually wore, and I wasn't at ease. And I quickly realized that it wasn't helping my credibility in the slightest. You need to stay yourself. You need to be authentic. So yes, I will put on sequins at 8 in the morning, and my colleagues are completely fine with it. It hasn't harmed my credibility. To the contrary, I feel happier in my skin. I feel authentic.
Ece Ege employs scores of women in both Paris and Istanbul, building up their confidence and improving their employability. She understands that work means independence.
It It's all about being proud of who you are. When you get out of bed in the morning, you have a mission. It's very important as a woman to have purpose, professionally speaking. It leads to a lot of great things, including the money, of course, because unfortunately the economy, that is, economic freedom and stability, are extremely important everywhere in the world. So, especially for women, it's more important than ever to have a golden bracelet around your wrist. It's a Turkish expression that means you have an indestructible value. Indestructible. It's so important. You're unbeatable, and that's a very reassuring thing for a woman, really.
Haute couture is, of course, the high point of aspirational consumerism, but it can also be a liberating force for designers and clients alike.
At France 24, our goal is to follow the news around the world as it develops and keep you informed at all times.
The coronavirus pandemic is hitting us all hard, not just in France, but everywhere. We at France 24 are determined to provide you with reliable and verified information as the world confronts the biggest health crisis for a century.
Wherever we are, however best we can, we're trying our utmost to keep on bringing you the very latest news.
France 24 is on the ground, reporting from the field in English, French, Arabic and Spanish. Keep watching and reading on France24.com.
France 24, our mission is to inform you.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.